Hey, I'm Craig. You may recognize me as Stuttering Craig from way back in the old internet days. Good to see you. Thanks so much for finding me. And man, do we have a good one today, because a lot of people are like, oh man, Star Wars, it's the best. Guess what? I don't really care about Star Wars, so we're not going to talk about Star Wars. Instead, we're going to talk about the top 4, my Mount Rushmore games on the Super Nintendo that you probably hate, that I kind of like. It's the games that most people hate that I kind of like. And they doesn't mean they're good games, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But before we do, I want to say thank you to all of my super thankers from my last episode, where I was reacting to the video about how video games aren't fun. It was a different take, and I really appreciated everybody right there. Thank you to Evan and Lauren. You guys are on a great streak right now of super thanking. Your super thanks are huge. Backyard TARDIS, Spiniacs, and Lord Crimson. Guys, thank you so much. I got your list down here. I want to make sure I get everybody props. So your super thanks go extremely far in helping me do this, which is great. Once again, new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you guys subscribe. And if you guys do enjoy videos like this, like these Mount Rushmores, these top 4s, give this episode a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm. And commenting, please, by the end of this, tell me your thoughts on the game that you hated, or that somebody hated that you liked, because that's what this is all about. So let's get into this thing. Once again, this is the top 4 my Mount Rushmore Super Nintendo games that you probably hate, that I kind of like in some way, shape, or form. And I got to be honest, I kind of hate some of these as well, but at the same time, I kind of like, it's like a guilty pleasure. Maybe that's a good way to say it. So the Super Nintendo, though, was without a doubt like my pinnacle of video games. That's where I grew up. That's where my formative years were spent. When I think of video games, I think of the Super Nintendo, and there was so much good and there was so much bad when it comes to the Super Nintendo. Mostly good, think about the pinnacle of games. You got your Link to the Past, your Super Mario Worlds, your Act Racers, and then you got games like Wayne's World, which is like the complete opposite of that. Wizard of Oz, these licensed games that were just absolute boo-dook-a-dook. Is that a thing? Let's get into some of these right now. And this first one, I don't think it's very surprising, but I have fond memories of this one, which is why it's here. And I'm talking about, oh baby, you know what it is. Give it to me, Acclaim. Give it to me. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so Bubsy and Clawed Adventures of the Third Kind. Listen, it's just Bubsy the Bobcat. I love Bubsy. I've always loved Bubsy. People love to hate Bubsy, but this is when you had that amazing mascot platformer time where everything was trying to be Sonic the Hedgehog or Mario, and you had Arrow the Acrobat and all sorts of stuff. Bubsy the Bobcat, to me. By the way, this is a complete playthrough. I'd like to thank Nintendo Complete for providing this gameplay here. You go around, you collect yarn, and that's the whole idea behind this thing. You get to the end. I love games, by the way, that have the how-to tutorial, like right when you first start playing. Personally, look at how much sass Bubsy has, just standing there. He's like, "What's up?" Now they had standstills, which is, I don't know if that's the official name, but I always like standstill animations. When a character just stands there and they they're do something at the screen, like snap their fingers or tap their foot or something like that. But this game does not play very well. It doesn't play well really at all. It's floaty. You die easily. You go through and you get hit, and then one hit you're dead. But there's this charm to it. There's this really, this is just the demo, by the way. And look at how cool this demo is. I love this. But there's this really distinct charm to Bubsy the Bobcat. So much so that I think they saw a re-release recently, or on the Switch. There was a new one that was released. I didn't play it. I don't really want to play it. But Bubsy the Bobcat 1. Maybe I should be a little more specific. Bubsy the Bobcat 1 is the game that I love. I love to love and hate at the same time. But I'll say this. One of the things that I really love about this game isn't necessarily I played the first level probably up to the 3rd level. And then I did what most kids did. They found the passcode to the last level, which leads me to the next part of this, one of the reasons why I love this game, the final level. Let's pull up the emulator of this. Okay, and the reason why I love this final level isn't the snappy comments, isn't anything. It's the music. And I'm going to pop this up so you can hear this. I would go and I would use the password just to go and listen to this music. I love this music. I don't know why I love this music. It just resonates with me. And for me, this is like determination music. Weird. I love this. And this is like some dude speedrunning this. But whatever. You know, just decimating my childhood with an emulator. It's so stupid. Like this song should not be some like inspirational music, but it is for me. I love it. Ba 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 ba. Dun 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 dun. Sorry, I can like listen to this all day. So Bubsy the Bobcat. There's number 4 on my list. Ba ba ba. So like even right now, I want to stop and I just want to listen to it. Dun, 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 dun. All right, it's so good, so good. All right, let's move on. Sorry, I even today I get wrapped up. But speaking of music, let's move on to my next on this list. Bubsy the Bobcat, and this one's really gonna brain you out, straight out of the wizard. Here we go. Here's your music that's going to get you going. I own this game. It's a shit game, but I love it. It's Balls 3D. I own this game. This game was, pardon the pun, but it was hard as balls. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And you fight as these little ball guys. I made fun of this game forever. And it's important that you can laugh at your stupidity sometimes. This game, once again, it doesn't play well. This is probably one of the worst games on the Super Nintendo. But when you bought a game back in the day, you had to love it. You had to find a reason to love it. It wasn't like today where you have 7,000 games in your Steam inventory. You bought a game and you own it. And the idea of returning a game, like what was that about? Yeah. Like you got these guys screaming in the background and stuff. And this was clearly built around, well, Street Fighter 2 was awesome, so we should make our own fighting game, but we're gonna do it 3D. And 3D fighting games were not a thing at the time. And still looking at this, like the fact that they pulled this off on the Super Nintendo, there was this expectation that, oh, look at this guy. We're getting ads. We're getting ads while we're watching at balls. But there was an expectation that when you bought a game that was technically advanced, there was going to be a give and take. There was going to be a give and take attached to it looks better, but it's going to play shitty. It wasn't like today where you expected things to be awesome at all times. Let's get into the actual gameplay here now that we're done. There we go. Okay, look at this horrible gameplay. This is like Virtual Fighter 2. You know, like you got a clown fighting a thing over here. You got the smack talking in the background. It's not good. It's not good. But I think I remember going through and finding a way to make this game fun as a kid. Like the idea of having any idea of what you're doing in this game is obsolete, right? Like things are just happening on the screen and you're like, okay, I think I'm winning. But I remember there's a character like Dalsum that's like long legs or long reach or something. And it was all about finding the exploit to advance. Like in Mortal Kombat, you just do the sweep over and over again, right? Mortal Kombat 1 on the Super Nintendo. In this game in particular, you in most fighting games, you find the exploit to advance. Look at this. She's gonna burst into balls once he gets off her. Let's see. There you go. Boo! See ya! Get out of here. This is a game. We're talking about a guilty pleasure. This is a guilty pleasure that I would not partake in today, but I have very. I don't know. It's a give and take, right? Very, definitely a love-hate relationship. All right, 3D balls. There you go. Let's move on to another game that was gimmicky, that was early in the Super Nintendo lifestyle, but it also was totally different than how gamers act today. I'm talking about NHL Stanley Cup on the Super Nintendo. Look at this Mode 7 3D graphics. I thought this was the coolest thing when I saw this. When I say this is different than today, most gamers today, like when you think of gamers, they don't like to play, hockey or like sports games. But I think that most people growing up, they would play all types of games. Sports games were like super fun to play because they were arcadey and they weren't simulation. But how the camera rotates around here, this was the gimmick. I think this game was actually, if I recall, developed by Nintendo itself. Maybe I'm off. Why would like a Japanese company develop a hockey game based off the NHL? But it has the NHL teams. It doesn't have the players on it. But the reason why I love this game was you once again, you talk about finding the exploits. Like there's no offsides in this game. The blue line doesn't even exist in this game. It's just hilarious. Total simulation. If you know hockey, you know what I'm talking about. But there was a way to shoot the puck in this. You could just slap shots, and that's one of the things I loved about the multiple buttons on your SNES controller was the top button, which I believe was Y. I think it's X. Maybe let's see. Yeah, I think it's X, the X button, because I'm looking at the Xbox 360 controller button, but the X button. Oh, here we go. Oh, never mind. It doesn't even matter. But the top button was like a lob shot. It was designed to dump into the zone so you can go get it. But you'd shoot it from like center ice, and it would just always go over the shoulder of the goalie. So I'd win games like 5,000-0, and that became the challenge. The challenge was, how can you beat the highest score that you previous got? And once again, you find ways to compete against yourself or to get a higher score. And I love that. I love that. So look, most people would not say this game is good. I totally understand that. But this is a game that, for me, is definitely a guilty pleasure. And something that if I was to go back and play today, I'd be like, what the hell were you thinking? But I would still do it, and there we go. So NHL, Stanley Cup. I don't even know when this game was developed, like 1991, 1992, something like that. And there are far better hockey games. Oh, he's on the breakaway! Oh, gets taken out by the goal, damn. But and I'm kind of surprised they haven't scored yet. But either way, this game was super fun and definitely a guilty pleasure. I don't think I've ever talked about this game ever. Maybe I'm wrong, but this game was so much fun. All right, let's go to my final list. My final game that I... Look, if you follow me for a long time, I'll say this. If you followed me, there were references to games that were really bad in the Screw Attack days that you'd be like, why was that game ever talked about on Screw Attack? This is one of those games. The games that I played growing up that I rented at 2-Day Video, which was my video store. Everybody had their video store. Tell me what your video store was down in the comments, because I'd love to hear about it. They had by the way, 2-Day Video had a Street Fighter 2 machine. That's like where I got my love for Street Fighter 2. The video store was such a huge part for me. Anyways, rented this game. It's like, once again, it's not good, but it's just a fun game. I'm talking about Chester Cheetah, Too Cool to Fool, baby. Listen, the Chester Cheetah got his own video game in the days of platforming mascot games, same as Cool Spot. But I loved Too Cool to Fool. I love this game. It was so stupid and fun. And he did the whole thing when he saw, like, it moves slow. You collect these little cheetah things. You jump on the turtles, and you get commercials. Damn it! I gotta get that Amazon or that YouTube Red thing, YouTube Premium thing, because otherwise we can't do these things. But we'll get back to that in a second. But listen, I love that he plays a rockin' guitar on this, and yes, there are cheap deaths in this game, but Chester Cheetah, Too Cool to Fool. I know I'm not the only one who loved Chester Cheetah, Too Cool to Fool. I know I'm not. And listen to this music. It moves slow. Chester Cheetah, he's got this wind when he jumps up in the sky. There's dogs that are on paving utensils or paving stuff. I don't know. Oh, look, this is all built around like promoting that stupid Chester Cheetah pod thing, which I don't even think they make them anymore. Well, why would they? Oh, here you go. Let's get this guitar. See what happens. Yeah. This is the invincibility. and he stays in one place, and this is all preset. So he just like, it's just built all around making Chester Cheetah look awesome. It's so stupid. So stinking stupid. Oh, here he goes. He's getting a little faster now because he's got the seat. Or got the shoe. And let's see if he can go up there and get that. Yes! Now you can see extra paws. I don't know why I love this game. I don't even love this game. But it's just fun to look at. And like, you gotta make impossible jumps like this. Oh! He made it. There he goes. He's off to the races. Go get it, Chester Cheetah. Whoa! This must be a speed run. Oh, here comes a boss fight. What is he? He's going to put the glasses back on, or did he pause the game? Who knows? Anyways, look, we all have these games that we love, that we embrace, that we appreciate from when we were a kid. And Chester Cheetah, Too Cool to Fool is one of those. So I would love to hear your games that most people hate, that you have a slight amount of love for, your top 2 games down in the comments. And tell me why I'm such an idiot down below with a super thanks. I would really appreciate that. As we become the most super thank channel on all of YouTube. Go watch more of my videos. They're over here, right over here. You can also subscribe to the channel as we inch closer to 27,000 subscribers. I appreciate y'all's support. You guys have an excellent day. May the 4th be with you. If you're watching not on May the 4th, hey, what's keeping you so long? Watch my other stuff. Go watch it. Which the likelihood of you actually watching on May the 4th is crazy. If you're watching this on June 17th, my birthday, hey, comment down below. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.